All right, coming up next. Earlier in the show, we talked about the American dream. Now, many people look at this as buying a home. It doesn't have to be. You can rent a home in San Diego, and I still think buying into the American dream by living a great life. But George Lorimer, this is a guy who's helped more people buy real estate in San Diego than almost any other realtor, whether you're buying or selling. This guy is a wealth of knowledge, so he's going to give you some great advice on what's happening in our market. Coming up next. All right, now joining us in studio, he is a top producing realtor in the San Diego marketplace, one of the best marketers I've ever met. George Lorimer joins us in studio. Always good to have you on the show.
Thanks, good to be here.
We got to get back out in the market with you.
Yes.
The time we shot it at that amazing house, was
Right.
that Balboa Park?
Yeah.
It was downtown-ish.
Right. And
Where was that?
Well, we did one off the 56 and then one downtown Bankers Hill.
That's the
that's
one.
right. Yep.
Oh, I almost want to go back and replay this clip. I mean, some of the homes that you're working with, unbelievable. All right, George. So, let's fast forward to today. How's the market?
We're having a crazy market.
Yeah.
You hear it from me every few weeks.
Right.
Shortage of inventory. Owners are selling, buyers are competing to get their offers accepted. We're seeing some price appreciation. We're in the busiest part of the market, so if the sellers are thinking of, selling their home, we're about at the prices were the height in 2007. And so some places a little bit lower, some places higher.
Let me put you on the spot because we continue to hear, and this isn't your fault, but we hear a lot about low inventory, low interest rates, a lot of activity. So it is a crazy market.
Yes.
Give us a real story. Give us an example of crazy, right?
Okay.
I'm totally putting you on the spot,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you have a ton that you can reach out or think about here.
Well, so I don't know if crazy or what it takes for somebody to buy a house that they like. So, for example, I had a past client contact me and say, hey, I'm back in the market to buy after selling 9 years ago.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so he calls me and we meet. And he says, well, I kind of like these areas. Of course, all the stuff on Zillow, all that stuff, it's kind of old data.
Oh.
So the property that he
Doesn't make your job any easier.
Yeah, right. So the property he wanted to purchase was in Serra Mesa, had gone under contract. So we took him out on a Saturday, showed him 4 or 5, one had just come on the market, perfectly staged, perfectly renovated. And we put an offer in, competing 4 or 5 different offers. I can't disclose what it sold for because we're still under contract.
Okay.
But very competitive. He was a very qualified buyer, 20% plus down, and had to go over asking price. And
over asking price.
he made it happen, and it was a beautiful house, and he still had the appraisal contingency, so it had to appraise value from the bank prior to moving forward.
Is that happening okay with these above listing prices? You're seeing
we're
the
not
appraisal?
seeing it too often. Craig, there's a
That's
big,
good.
Yeah, there's a big disparity between the comps. You can have some comps at $495, some at $555.
Well, low inventory, there's probably more of a subjectivity there. That's an interesting point. I haven't heard that before. You mentioned Zillow, Trillia, Realtor.com. I think that it's great that we have the ability to click a mouse and learn. And we're all on here anymore, right?
Right.
But there's a lot of misinformation online as well.
Right.
So when we talk about things like technology, what's the good technology now in the real estate space,
great
and
point.
what's not?
Well, so we had talked about it a little bit before about the client's expectations for the customer service. So we have all this data in the the internet. However, with all this data, a lot of it's not accurate or actionable. So properties may have been sold. Maybe you're not getting the listing, the new ones coming on the market for a day or two.
Right.
And it sounds so crazy when I have to temper this when I speak to a new buyer, because a lot of times they don't know how crazy the market is. So if you tell somebody, hey, you're gonna have to offer over asking price and you gotta go within 2 hours of it coming on the market, it's too much for people as they're just entering the market. Yes.
Yeah, exactly, especially first-time home buyer.
Right, people.
I'm sure there's still some people who are like, well, let's get a great deal.
Right.
That's our frame of mind when it comes to buying something. I want a great deal. Well, yeah, not so much.
So I think what you said about technology. So we have some strategies and some technology that are proprietary that we pay for really beyond just the MLS, beyond the searching, beyond Zillow, so that our clients are streamed the data immediately when it comes out.
That's
real
big.
time, like real estate agents. The other thing we can do is about 80% of what goes out is Zillow, is in Zillow, so 20% isn't.
Okay.
Some brokers choose to not participate in listing syndication.
Right.
So what if within that 20% are the properties that you like? And we're seeing more and
And
more.
that might be a good area to navigate when everyone else is going towards the 80.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or in addition, both.
Sure.
And the other thing too is like a lot of people put stuff on coming soon or not on the MLS yet, but the deals get done prior to that. So you said technology, but just maybe even the ears and the eyes of doing it for 20 plus years, 1,000 transactions, letting people know this is what it's going to take to get in on this property so it doesn't sell prior to it hitting on the market and you missing out on it.
It's 20 plus years, George Lorimer.
Yes.
You've been in the game for a while.
I've been in the game for a while.
And this is your market. I mean, it's your backyard. So
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
grew up here.
You're a great guy to go to. You know, I've heard you use the words we.
Yes.
I've heard you use the words customer service.
Right.
Team.
Yes.
So explain how it all works. You know, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, I would
Yeah.
encourage them to go to georgelorimer.com. But what's the George Lorimer experience? How about that?
Well, you know, it's constantly what we're always trying to do. We talked about it with the Ritz-Carlton, My Pleasure attitude with Nordstrom. You go in there and people have a higher expectation.
Right.
Than some single agent coming over. We go to the doctor, the dentist, the lawyer. We expect to have a certain expectation of our professional. Plus, we know all the stuff has to be done, but the agent really doesn't have time to do everything on the list. They like to prioritize, and we like to really negotiate offers for clients, do the really dollar productive that our experience will work with them. But in the meantime, we still need the photos done. We still need the lockbox. We still need the signs. So we have a team approach, and you have the team approach for the same price as an individual agent, and you have a team of experts. And I mean, one of the ladies has been with me for 16 years, closed nearly
Wow.
1,000 transactions. She's there every day on the case, saving our sellers tons of money on repairs, getting our buyers' offers accepted. You know, it's really...
You know, it's one thing to, in the real estate business, to build a ton of agents underneath you.
Right.
It's another thing to stay really neat and tidy and small. And then there's where I think that you've done it right is that you've really just elevated your status over the years and given yourself a bigger bandwidth by having people that support you. A gal that's done it 16 years. I mean, having that team that can elevate you gives you more time in your day, allows you to be at a higher level of customer service. And it's obviously why you're doing so well. Well, we appreciate you coming on here, talking about the market, technology, teamwork, all this stuff you do really well. georgelorimer.com if you want to connect with George. George, thanks for coming on the show, man.
My pleasure.
All right. Coming up next, the Sewing Says segment. This is where we answer your questions from craigsewing.com. Stick around and we'll get right to it. The Sewing Says segment. This is where we answer any email we got from craigsewing.com. This is an interesting one we got from the radio show. Craig, whether Trump or Hillary Clinton win the presidency, what do you think that means for the market? That's a great question. We've actually seen that one quite a bit recently. I don't think it really matters that much. They affect more of the market, the deficit, but stocks, you know, we're in a global marketplace. So who's the president? They tend to be a puppet. I don't think it matters as much. But obviously a guy like Donald Trump is going to be focused on the economy, where Hillary Clinton, I think, might be focused on other things. So very tough to say, but I don't think the president tends to matter. I think that they're a puppet. The market is a free marketplace. It's a global marketplace. So I think it's going to be very uncertain no matter who's president come November. Wish I could give you more advice, but it just really doesn't matter. What we should focus on are the things you can control. And this is what we help people with: financial planning, real estate, mortgage. Visit us online at craigsewing.com. Ask questions. We're happy to help you. But that's all for today. Tomorrow, 10:30 a.m., Channel 4. And don't forget our radio show, all at craigsewing.com. And we're out.